once in a while, an individual discovers something that lifts them higher. Once in a while, a ray of hope, a light shines from within the dark constructs of the mind and its influences. That is what we recognize as spiritual wisdom, a knowledge that transcends race, religion, culture, our conditioning, a knowledge that speaks directly to our individuality, that communicates to us something about life, not about how to live, what to do, but about life itself. And almost always, such an individual is condemned. He's ridiculed for moving away from the flock. And the argument is the same. By doing something that you're not told to do, you have broken our well-constructed, fixed ideas of life. And to do something on your own is heresy. That is the actual meaning of the word. And what do we do with heretics? We banish them. We throw them out of the group. Instead of welcoming them, learning from them, treating them with love, dignity, and respect, we punish them. For what? For being themselves. And this has happened for thousands of years. This is the story of humanity. Once in a while, a ray of hope emerges, a new sapling emerges, a new way of understanding life emerges. But the old, the rigid, the dogmatic is always ready to destroy it. Because people have arranged their lives around ideas, around their own imaginations. They have moved far away from truth. Even Jesus himself were to come with the same insight, the same teachings. Even if he speaks the same words, he will be rejected. It does not matter how he wishes to come. He can look at all the images of how people worship him. He can take time this time, because last time he was in a hurry and he messed up. He can take all the time. He can learn exactly what to say, how to say. And he can come with that same self-image that people can recognize. Long hair, blue eyes. But he will be rejected. Why? Because there was already one before. They have already concluded that we will not allow another Jesus to emerge from among us. As long as there is Christianity, there is no possibility for such a thing to happen. We will ensure that no other individual claims to be Jesus. Right there, you have completely destroyed the possibility of one individual discovering truth for themselves. That is why those who find something meaningful always find it outside the group. They don't find it inside the group. You don't hear someone becoming enlightened in the middle of a prayer session in the church. It always happens somewhere far away, like the way it happened to Jesus, far away from Judaism, far away from mainstream religious beliefs. It happened to him in a cave amongst a group of fellow seekers who were all searching for something deeper, something higher. It did not happen where he was born, it did not happen where he grew up. And he came back with the hope. He totally forgot that they do not understand. They are very far away. He was excited that he has found something so valuable that can lift them higher. This knowledge, this wisdom can free them from the shackles of life. But eventually, it became the very reason for his death, because he possessed something that they did not understand. It's because they didn't want to let go of the old. They didn't want to let go of their own beliefs and illusions. They had to destroy him. Otherwise, they had to change. They had to learn from him. They had to put in the effort. They have to question themselves, question how they have lived. Now they have to practice how to be awake. But they are so used to being asleep. They don't want to be woken up. This guy is disturbing their peace. And that is why he was killed. Because he was a rebel. Because he was a troublemaker. Because he was moving things around. And why was he doing this? Just to remind people. He didn't want to be a leader. He didn't want to be worshipped. He didn't want to be recognized as a savior. He just came to share his joy. But they could not see. They could not understand what he had discovered. They were not even ready for a conversation because they had accepted and assumed an authority. Authority that is not coming from inside, it's coming from somewhere far away. You are going against our religious beliefs and traditions, so you're going against our God. Now, if you go against our God, you have to be punished. Now, who is this God? Where does he come from? Nobody knows. But we know exactly what this God has done. He has crucified the living. And he has always supported the dead. The more rigid you are, the more dead you are on the inside. You just simply follow a set of rules. You don't wake up in the morning with your own life, with your own zeal and enthusiasm for the present moment. You are a religious person. Look how religious people move. The more religious you are, the less freedom you have. You look at freedom as blaspheming against God. Freedom, which is an individual's birthright. Something which has to be regarded as precious, is seen as breaking away, moving away, breaking the rules. That is why only once in a while we get a prophet, we get an enlightened being. although each and every individual is fully capable of realizing the truth. They are born to know the truth of their lives. But it's because this knowing is prohibited, it is condemned, it is systematically rooted out from within the community. It takes great courage, which happens once in a while. An individual finds the courage to say, I want to walk my own path. If you think about it, the hardest thing on the spiritual path is not the practice, is not staying dedicated to the practice. It is that moment when you decide to break away from everything familiar. It is that moment when you say, I have been taught wrong. I don't understand this God. I don't understand his commandments. I don't see the point of it. I don't see why I should be following these meaningless rituals and practices. If I break away, then I might have to lose some friends. I might have to lose my family members. I might have to lose the support of my community. Which is true now. Just imagine 1,000 years ago, when religion was not something you practiced, it was a way of life, where breaking away almost meant a certain death. If you broke away in a way that can be recognized, you are immediately put to death. Just publish a book that says, believe in yourself more than you believe in God, that is enough. Point to the truth that is inside. Just tell people that there is no such thing as heaven and hell, that is enough for you to be eliminated. But if you move away in a way that people cannot recognize, then you have to fend for yourself. You will have no support of the community. Yes, you want to find the truth? Go find it for yourself. Don't expect us to support you. How much of injustice? So rare an individual decides to move higher, discover something about life, far from helping that individual, supporting that individual, giving some basic resources for that individual. Yes, we are unable to do it because we are too lost in our world. At least let us help you. Instead, you throw that individual away from the community. Now, he or she has to fend for themselves, figure out how to survive, and then continue their practice. Now, that is where individuals began to gather together. Those who were looking for something deeper, something higher, created small spiritual communities. That is where we get the Buddhist monasteries from, the Hindu spiritual ashrams from the mainstream society, small groups, band of individuals who have broken away. These are the groups we recognize as mystical schools. Almost every religion has a fringe movement, a mystical school. But unless you are looking for it, you're searching for it, you will not even hear about them. You can live and die as a Christian without ever knowing about Christian mysticism. Even that phrase sounds like something you're not supposed to be doing. And mystics have always been persecuted by mainstream religions. They have to somehow hide themselves in order to stay alive, in order to spread their teachings. It is only because truth is so abundant, it is everywhere, each and every individual has the possibility to realize the truth. We still have individuals once in a while, here and there, waking up. If truth was not this abundant, we would have totally destroyed it.